to be something else that Royal is going to be able to throw in there as a spanner in the works. Because the early game skirmishing out of this team, the fact that they move the Rise straight to the top lane, pick up first blood, and then move on from there is just beautiful to see. As WE going to switch things up a little bit with a Varus ban here now that they are on the blue side. Alistair, of course, still going to go.
Looks like maybe priority onto the Emperor of Shurima.
Yeah, and RNG going to have to change up what they're banning away as well. Last time it was the Karma and the Corki being the first two focused away. Lysandra was to follow then as well. We'll see whether the Emperor is going to have to be considered, as Rise is actually the ban. So, Jahu, respecting the pick, doesn't want that to go to the other side of the Rift instead this time. WE now taking some time here for the final ban. We'll see what it is going to be. Still a heck of a lot of priority picks left on the board. The Azir could be an option. Echo, of course, considering the Varus ban, would make a bit of sense here. And it is going to be Nidalee, actually, which is very interesting. Was left completely to go through the draft last time around. Now going to be banned away. Now RNG. We'll see. Will it be the Emperor of Shurima? Will it be the Echo? Will it be once again the Lysandra? Or potentially the Corki there as well. Like, there's a lot of options for them to take away. Lysandra is going to be banned, so 957 not going to get that one. But there he is, the Emperor. And Jahu going to have to play against it now, of course. Was known to pick Xerath into this many moons ago.
Don't think the Xerath is coming back.
I want it back so bad.
Why? Xerath is one of those
Jahu.
champions that Ziggs and Xerath, if they never see competitive play ever again, I count it a win, not only for myself and color commentators everywhere, but fans of League of Legends as a whole.
Well, you like interactive League of Legends?
Yeah,
Oh,
surprisingly.
It's not about that. Well, MLXG actually looking to pick up the Graves one more time, as Sivir is now being considered once again. This time for Name, they are going to lock it in. RNG making sure that they don't get the golden combo on the side of WE. They can go for the Kindred now if they want to, but it will be picking it into the Graves one more time.
Yeah, Azir, Sivir, Kindred would have been such a powerful top half of the map. I think the Maokai needs to be looked at here, though. I wouldn't be surprised if they go towards something like Maokai Kindred.
Yeah, Maokai Kindred would make sense.
Just to help out Azir there, you know, ensure that the pile-in is nice and good. If everyone crowds up, Azir obviously does a lot more damage. Then you can just shove everyone out from underneath the Kindred ultimate. It's already quite mid-range. Echo does a similar kind of thing. Doesn't have the damage reduction, but he's going to encourage people into crowding into a certain place.
I just feel like Maokai is so important when you're against either Sivir or Azir. So for both of these teams, it's a brilliant pickup either way.
But the thing is that Maokai can't go with Echo. Like, there is no reality in which Maokai can split push at all versus Echo.
Well, we'll see. As, of course, was banned last time. Very strong. You're exactly right. But they'll definitely have to.
As far as
deal with
Echo goes, I'm like, I do not think Echo is as good as people think he is. Like, that's as far as I'm going to go. Like, when Pawn builds mid lane tank Echo, I just think that you could do pretty much what he did with any other champion. Like, there's no, that's not Echo's strength. However, the thing that Maokai has always suffered from is it gives you a free laning phase, and late game can't split push against it. That's why people used to pick Trundle into it.
Yeah.
The counter to that was then, you know, pick up QSS on your Maokai. That's fantastic. But Grasp of the Undying Echo will just split push for days against Maokai. And you can, late game, use your parallel convergence to just get that big shield and tank up turrets and start ignoring the Maokai. So in a split push situation, Echo is better than Maokai. In a team fight situation where 5 people are on top of each other, Maokai is still king.
Well, Maokai is going to be picked up here. Thresh as well once again for Mata. Can go for a back-to-back MVP performance on that champion if he wants to. Played brilliantly game number 1. Now to try and do the same thing again. Switching over the AD carries, though, and we'll see whether Mystic is going to grab himself the Lucian. Of course, is Ezreal available here as well?
I would expect Ezreal to come out here. Just something that he's so practiced in playing.
Oh, yeah. A little bit longer range there as well with the poke damage to come out.
It's just the control that they now have in the team fight. Oh, no, yep. the control that they have in the team fight with Ezreal, with Azir.
Another 11 seconds to go. Mystic can change his mind if he feels like it. Probably thinking about skipping over to the Lucian just because of how he feels it goes into the Sivir matchup.
He also likes Ezreal into Sivir, though, so I don't think that that's much of his decision-making process. And there it is.
Locked in, thank goodness. His final pick now to go to Xiao. And LeBlanc left up. And it's going to be locked in instantly here. Xiao, no hesitation, just says, give me the magic lady, and I'm going to smack on some chicken men.
Yeah, the Deceiver now locked in the mid lane. We will see if this is going to be a favorable matchup for Xiao. Azir is... So Azir used to be at LeBlanc when he had a knock-up.
Yep.
Because you could stop a distortion. It was quite rude.
Was.
And you get a big shield out of it. Nowadays, not so much. LeBlanc puts down a heck of a lot of hurt. And you can see he has to take a cleanse in this matchup as well to get rid of the chains, because if he ever gets changed up, MLXG and Xiao will make short work of him. But there is still the potential for him to sweep it underneath the turret, you know, come up with the big outplays that Azir players love so much. Also, a lot more consistent damage out of Xie.
Yeah, and Xie has shown a lot of prowess on the Azir, but we are talking about Xiaohu's LeBlanc. This is a guy that has been playing this champion for a very long time. When he broke out into the LPL, it was things like Azir, Xerath, LeBlanc. They were his champions, didn't have many others.
Yeah. Xiao is a surprising player to me. I think that he is so good because he gets so little priority from enemy teams, because look at the class that is around him right now.
Very true.
But has started to step up and become a legitimate carry on this RNG lineup. It's exciting to watch him grow.
It most certainly is. Coaches are going to shake hands. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 of our first semi-final is about to be underway. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the rift for game number 2. Sides are going to swap as WE put on some blue shorts and roam out onto Summoner's Rift. We'll see whether they are going to be able to get the better of RNG this time around. Coming back from a game number 1 loss is something that they have been able to do. Of course, in the quarterfinal against Vici, were able to do so.
Yeah, it certainly was. No stranger to being underdogs, WE. This
exactly.
I think that is more than fair to say, as we see. Actually, no further battle for Kindred, so Condi going for Strength of Ages, fluctuates between the two.
Yeah, LPL seems to be almost always further of battle, though. I like Condi going for a little bit more of defensive flavor.
Why do you like that?
I don't know, I just always, it feels better. You know, you feel like you don't just explode as soon as you move in anywhere. It's just me, though.
Of course, the argument would be if you find anyone at level 3 with double buffs and further of battle, you out-duel them comprehensively. But I do take your point. Defensive stats are very rare to come by as an AD carry, so you can probably pick up as many as you want. Looper has a big yawn.
You can see 957 concentrating a lot right now, or is falling asleep. Nope, he's having some conversations. We're going to be fine. Xiao. Going to meet the minions here as MLXG and Looper are just going to be starting there towards the top side of the map. And as you can see, looks like a bit of a lane swap has ensued.
Yeah, it certainly has. So initiated out of the Ezreal, not too surprising. 957 going to duck in, get a little bit more of that gold. They've started on weak side of the map on both sides, but no one really going to be pressured out. 957 tried to grab another sneaky minion, but couldn't get it.
Very sneaky. Xiao with cheeky distortion. Grabs an extra auto attack there as well before heading back as MLXG getting a lot of damage down under this. Red buff, absolutely fine right now. Hasn't actually met up with his top laner just yet. He's going to make his way through. So Looper now following around. And Marta wants to just make a nuisance of himself.
Yeah, he certainly does, but he needs to be careful because he's actually getting collapsed on from behind.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. As they give over experience to 957. 957 looks like he wants to go into that bottom lane time and time again. I wouldn't advise it. There are smarter things. There are smarter ways to die. But You know, could be a choice.
Well, Xiaohu, you can see, having to deal with a Bard moving down into his lane.
This is not a fast push at all. They're letting the turret kill creeps without even hitting it. Because now Xie's in trouble.
Yeah, massive combo there onto Xie. Xiaohu just pops back, doesn't blow the ignite, staying very cool, calm, and collected right now, but the mid laner for RNG looking very, very good today.
Certainly is, and this turret falling surprisingly quickly. Of course, Maokai, one of the highest base ADs in the game. Finally, 3 members out of RWE who look like they wanted to do nothing to do with fast-pushing turrets have joined up. They're going to bring the jungler in here as well, but they're probably, what 3/4 of the turret behind?
Incredibly far behind. This turret going to get a little bit more attention. MLXG going to come down, throw some pellets in there. And it is actually going to be taken by Name. Shares the gold with Looper, I believe.
So you can see that that turret's still fairly healthy on the top side of the map. They will finally come back in and try and deal with it. But Mystic, Ezreal's one of the quickest turret pushes in the game because of his W. And they're going to have to help out even further. Condi comes in. Mystic will go back to base. That's the push continued on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, that is very, very late. Xiaohu, of course, bought a little bit more time. Somehow lands that chain as well as Thunderlords is going to go off. Xie. Fair bit of magic resist at the moment, by the way, looking at his runes. It does seem to be able to tank this one up relatively effectively, but it's going to be harder and harder as Xiaohu gets more and more items. Has eaten all of his potions there as well. MLXG heading through, clears out the enemy jungle, of course making use of the fact that WE spent some extra time towards the top side.
And all of a sudden, they need to hard push bottom lane. They've got a tier on their Ezreal, so that's not a bad first shot. But they need to get 9-5. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, beautiful hook comes out there from Mata as they do manage to get the flash out of 957. He can't wait under his turret anymore.
And they burn nothing in response. If Mata wanted to, probably could have followed up with a flash, had Ignite available, Name had flash and heal. That would have been potentially a kill, but instead they just take the high percentage play, see how much they've already pushed into this turret. They're going to chunk it out and start the fast push one more time. And Ezreal, meanwhile, still building up the wave, and it is going to be a while before that hits the turret.
Yeah, and it's just beautiful out of RNG here as well to show that level of patience. This is a team that we've been sometimes critical of for being overly aggressive. I mean, any team that has MLXG on it, you are going to be raising those questions. Really beautiful to see RNG playing for the strategic game rather than the kill game. See whether that continues. As Condi throws out the E onto a cannon creep. That's not a Xiaohu.
I think he's trying to help him push out this last wave before they get a shop in. However, it's not going to work. They finally join up here as Xiaohu goes in.
Yeah, that's just a Mimic Distortion onto Xie. Tries to get as much damage down as possible, baiting out what he can, but of course had the Distortion. Never going to get locked down. It's absolutely fine.
So big creep wave finally hits the turret. Nah, Mata needs to be careful here, so does MLXG.
Oh.
Harold does not take lightly to these. Well, no.
Calculated.
Yep, easy. So both turrets fall down. 2 turrets to 2 eventually, and they're going to trade Rift Herald for Dragon. We've seen in the past that RNG have been able to utilize Rift Herald quite effectively.
Yeah, and we've also seen Dragon, especially in these lane swaps, as be a little bit of a, I guess, non-factor as far as getting more advantages are concerned, especially in this early game. Only 7 minutes, 6% stats means, what, 1.3
Only means something
AP?
you can stack it. Teams like KOO Tigers and SKT stack Dragons actually really effectively in Korea. We just don't really have a Dragon stacking team in the LPL. I mean, RNG did it last game to pretty good effect. But apart from that, not really all that many teams that prioritize the objective.
Yeah, sort of EDG earlier on in the season. Even they have moved back towards Rift Heralds, things like that. MLXG continuing his wrath on the jungle. 18 to 36 is the farm in the jungle.
Yeah, Graves takes much more in lane swap situations. I think it is very fair to say because of the end of the line. But across the board, they are winning in CS. That's just because Condi, 957 have been a little bit slower to the rotation.
Well, Marta standing on a ward here. Is Condi going to move out? Smite away the red buff. Will be absolutely fine. Shea going to come over, eat himself some popcorn chicken and move on. 53 to 56. So still staying up as far as that farm is concerned, has himself a catalyst. Right of Ages Azir. Swan wants the extra health.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to shut down Xiaohu's LeBlanc.
That was a big combo. Chains are going to land there as well. So Sigil's double are going to go off. Xiaohu's just looks like he can't miss a skill shot right now in this lane.
Yeah, and Teleport comes in behind 957. He's in a lot of trouble. Zero's also there, however.
Yeah, Name actually going to run over the top of him there as Parallel Convergence comes in. Zero actually trying to escape now as well. Only level 4 as the Twisted Advance is going to lock him down. They're looking for first blood, and they'll get it. It is, in fact, the tree that picks it up. Name wanted it so bad. It's not going to happen as Lupa's going to grab it again here for RNG.
And gank the teleport lane. It's one of the basic fundamentals of League of Legends. If you have a teleport, go towards the other teleporters lane because no one will be able to come there and help him out. And you see that playing the top side of the map there was WE, and RNG capitalized on the mistake.
And it just makes so much sense as well. I mean, they understand that 957 is going to have a split push advantage at the same time. And I actually like giving the kill to Lupa. Give him as much of a head start as he possibly can.
Yeah, so it does seem to be the case. However, right now you can see that Ezreal is starting to grow a little bit of a CS advantage. And one thing you have to be aware of is Mystic's Ezreal and how, I guess, good he is at the champion, is his namesake after all.
Oh, yeah.
There's one more time they go in.
Oh my goodness, yeah, in a whole host of trouble. Uses the barrier actually as the Ignite goes down. The last auto attack. Will it be enough here as he's burning to death? He's going to hit the back button. He's on about, yeah, he was on 4 health. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is so close. Xiaohu a little bit robbed there. One more auto attack would have been enough to do it. But at the end of the day, forcing your laner your opponent out of the lane is not bad at all. You can see that map wide right now, huge advantages. There's now Xiaohu being collapsed on a little bit, but it's just Mystic and Zero here to collect some farm.
Pick up the minion wave there, of course. So GA goes back, grabs himself a blasting wand. Will be Mirror completed here for Xiaohu, no doubt, when he goes back to base. That one is now going to be picked up. Grab some boots there as well, and we'll see whether he can continue the onslaught onto the Emperor of Shurima. Or whether he's going to start moving around the map. Of course, now, first item complete. Might be time to get around, start doing some stuff. Does still have the flash, no ignite now, so kill threat lower. But without having to worry about the barrier, could be a decent thing here for Xiaohu.
Yeah, certainly could. Especially if they're able to get MLXG in the lane. And right now, WE just look like they're trying to absorb some of that RNG pressure. This is something they're very famous for being able to do in the LPL. You know, absorb all that early game pressure and then come out the other side quite well. But right now, it's 2,000 gold. And it's based off the better laning phase of RNG.
And a lot to do with MLXG being double the CS of his opponent. It's just insane. That would be so much of extra money.
Well, when you have a look at it, he's only a longsword up.
Yeah, true. Wonder when the last time he went back to shop was.
But right now, immediate power is all that really matters, so Condi's not too far behind.
Well, we'll see how it plays out as the game moves on. MLXG not yet to make too much of an impact as far as actually ruining WE's day is concerned. Condi going to come over, can't actually grab that Rift Scuttler as another Mimic Distortion flies through. Xiaohu not going to find any response from GA there as well, as 957 not going to get flayed. Name going to continue to be a hassle. Xiaohu, though, is such full health. GA actually needs to probably bring Condi around here as there's MLXG. He's going to spot out the Kindred here in the jungle. End of the line comes down. Explosive damage comes in now as RNG are moving forward. Everyone there, they're waiting for a hook for a Mata.
They have all 5 members into this mid lane. They were looking to see if they could make the play one more time, ganking the teleport on WE, or if they can just push out the lane in very quick fashion. And once again, this is just great map rotations coming out of RNG, recognizing who they need to keep down. It is the Echo. And capitalizing on that. And one more time, now they're going to look at Xie in the mid lane, see if they can get a kill. They can.
Oh my god, they certainly can, as Xiaohu just solo destroys him underneath the turret.
So, we talk about this a lot, but setting up your triangle vision in the enemy jungle when you have control means that you expose the mid lane turret. This time it was MLXG being able to take the shortcut there. And honestly, even without it, Xiaohu looked like he was completely fine, but they knew no support was coming for the mid laner. Trickshot Barrage tries to clear out these minions, but it's still pretty much half the health of the turret gone.
Yeah, really nicely played here from RNG. And the fact that they just have so much pressure, it's 2,000 gold the lead, very different to what was game number 1. Oh, exactly right. My God. Dragon is going to be taken down. That is going to be the first here for RNG, evening that one out. And despite the fact that Ezreal does have still a slight lead, there's going to be a lot sitting on his shoulders moving into the mid game here once he grabs those couple of items.
I really don't like the item build out of Xie. We've actually seen like members of the LPL, like Dade, for example. Of course, he was originally from OGN or LCK, but obviously been in the LPL most recently. Would 100% take this matchup when LeBlanc was even stronger as Azir, and go things like Athene's into Merc Treads or Abyssal into Merc Treads, as Xie is about to die again. And be completely fine in the matchup. It's just, to me, MR seems to counter LeBlanc so much more efficiently than Health does. And you can see that she just has enough for multiple spell rotations that she doesn't even really care about her health pool. She's just going to chip you down. And eventually you will die, as now Condi, speaking of which.
Yeah, speaking of dying here, as Condi gets taken down so incredibly low. Lamb's Respite is going to be used here as Mystic over to the side. We'll see whether Looper is going to survive this one as well, as he's very low inside this pick. 957 is going to be able to pick it up now as Condi still kiting around. Xiaohu's going to be able to pick up that kill as he's now trying to get away. I'm not sure whether he's going to here, as Mystic's going to finish off the LeBlanc. Nice trade there for WE.
Yeah, overextension actually out of RNG as MLXD still steals away that blue buff, but Name just wasn't there. That was a 5v4. And Ezreal's starting to hit his stride in this game. That's one member that hasn't been kept down on WE's lineup. So they lessen the gold gap, get about 500 back in their favor, and get a moment of respite to be able to farm up some turrets. Some minion waves, sorry. Beg your pardon.
Yep, definitely good here for Xie. He wants to be able to catch himself back up. Now, closing that gap a little bit, single digits, as On the Hunt has been popped. Zero in a bunch of trouble, walks over a pink ward.
Zero.
The extra ward is going to go down. Yeah, Mystic actually is going to get pulled out of position. The Flay for the slow, and my God, burning to death now. And it is going to be Marta that picks that one up. Collateral damage there, just for collateral, I guess.
Yep, just in case he did live. It's about sending a message sometime. You would have died either way.
Yep, I want to kill you.
Double summoner spells burnt there, and there's nothing they can do about this mid lane pressure either. As you can see, Marta behind the turret, incredible confidence, looking for some picks.
Well, Xiaohu and Marta are going to be able to deal with this pink ward as well, and they've just moved so far forward. There's the Rift Herald. Condi now going to move into the enemy jungle, trying to clear out as much as he can. Devourer still in the early stages. Only 7 stacks right here at 16 minutes.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Throw a dragon on top of it in a couple of minutes. That will be absolutely fine. It's more about the fact that they're just so far behind in farm in multiple lanes. I mean, mid lane starting to fall 11, 2 kills there as well. 80 carries, incredibly close. Credit to Mystic for being able to stick with Name in what is a losing map. Even top lane starting to fall behind in CS, and they really do need that lane to win.
Oh my God. Xiaohu lands another chain. Xie has to be very careful. Cups of cocoa being provided here by Zero.
Yeah, but sometimes, it's that cold that cups of cocos can't even warm you up.
That is definitely true.
And this is just going to be a struggle because, once again, a very linear team comp for RNG to execute. Poke with Xiaohu when you finally get someone down a little bit. Look for the deep invade. Get your wards placed, and then Looper can just go for the flanking plays. I mean, they've got the perfect team comp to set it up one more time. They can all go deep with the Looper as well.
Yeah. And the whole time, you've just got MLXG running around making sure that Condi can't get any jungle camps ever.
Yep. So very good job from the Graves of keeping the gap. It's one thing dominating during the lane swap, but then being able to capitalize on it when it does go back into pretty much standard lanes is a good news story. And looks like they're going to naturally nearly get this turret.
Yeah, Xiaohu has just been so pushed up, and GA probably just doesn't feel safe underneath his turret anymore after getting solo killed under there. MLXG able to take away another jungle camp. This guy's smite finger is insanely strong today.
He's the highest level on the map.
Okay, yeah, so his smite's pretty good.
2 levels above everyone. He's doing a great job of just tracking the Kindred around the map. This is one of those games where I wouldn't have really blamed Condi for going Warrior Enchant and just sacking the stacking of Devourer, but he opted into it, and it really does come down to this next dragon. They need to go back, set up for it. Wouldn't even... What?
Wow.
That's going to be mid lane turret gone. I don't know if there's... They need to stall out for so long right now. And he's going to die anyway.
Yeah, the Ignite goes down. There's the Emperor's Divide, but he heads back to his Distortion. Jahu just gets one last sigil, grabs himself a lantern. Really beautiful play.
Why would you flash on top of a LeBlanc? She has a Distortion next to you anyway. That's honestly a wasted summoner spell out of the Azir there. No way he could save his life. All of a sudden, a collapse coming in on 957. Even the big tanks out of WE aren't safe. And this is a 5,000 gold lead. He just ulted for another camp.
Did he steal it?
I don't know, but that is just how confident MLXG is right now. It's not ulting for a blue buff or a red buff, which is quite cute. That was a wolf that he ulted for.
Just trying to deny Condi as much as possible. And a confident RNG is a terrifying RNG to deal with as well. Just because of the players that are on this team, especially out of the jungle. MLXG, when he's confident, like you said, I mean, it may not be great to throw out collateral damages, but this guy, he's playing in your face like this, very hard to deal with. Xiaohu as well, having one of the best series I've seen, like mechanically, especially in the 1v1 in the mid lane.
Yeah,
both the Rise and the LeBlanc.
And Xie had a great series against Easy Hoon, so yeah, certainly speaks to how well Xiaohu is playing and the pressure that his jungler is giving him to keep the lane at 1v1.
Lupo looking to try and flank here as best he can. Dragon being considered. Condi wants it. And not only the stacks, but to stop RNG from being able to move towards
They need a team fight here. This game is getting really out of control. And the one calling card they do have left is Mystic is strong, whereas a Sivir is not. So here we go.
Yeah, Tempered Fate is going to land on Amata. Not sure whether that's the target that they really want as MLXG is going to head over the top. He takes down Zero immediately here as Condi now does have the Lamb's Respite, but I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to use it in time as Mystic falls down. Name picks up that kill. Xiaohu, I'm not sure even where he went, as there is the Lamb's Respite from Condi, but the rest of his team, they need the help. Xiaohu is almost able to take down Jie, but the kill does go across to the Azir. Collateral damage once again for the Collateral. As now 957 running for the hills. It's a 4-for-1 in favor of RNG, and they're even further ahead.
So we mentioned, right, that Ezreal is the one person that is strong. What does Xiaohu do? Dives into the backline and absolutely decimates him. You mentioned the fact that maybe not engaging onto the right target, going to echo that sentiment. Marta is not the man you are looking for. In goes 957.
Yeah, Zero is over the side as well, doesn't find it. Onto the Graves. Is 957 just going to throw out his ultimate, get himself out of there?
So let's take another look at this. They go on to Marta. However, great flank comes out of Xiaohu on the back end. Watch Mystic. That's all you need to watch for. Absolutely decimated in this team fight. And that was the one member that they could really rely on to provide consistent damage. 957 chases a LeBlanc for maybe a little bit too long and can't help out the rest of his team. But as soon as Xiaohu got his man, as soon as Mystic was destroyed, you just knew this team comp wasn't going to go the right way.
Yeah, and the fact that he came back in there as well to try and kill GA. Yeah, exactly right. Teleports are coming in here. We'll see exactly what's going to happen. 957 has taken down Marta, but you can see Xiaohu over to the side just eliminates the Bard, and Name's now getting going. Echo, not as tanky as he wants to be right now. Xiaohu, so much damage on the Mystic. The chains land. He'll grab another Q, and that's going to be MLXG once again with the ultimate.
And Lupa just won't be stopped. Neither will Xiaohu.
He's just walking at him face first. He just dies. Okay, that's not exactly great. As GA is going to fall down. It's probably what they want. Is Condi the last man standing yet again, this time.
So you will trade it. 100% if you're LeBlanc there, you will trade it. Because what it means is all the wave clear dead. All of a sudden you have a double AD carry comp and a Maokai that can butcher these turrets. They get another objective off the back end. That's a 9,000 gold to lead. So you're like, that's sloppy play out of Xiaohu. Not really, because it's still affording his team these small victories.
Yeah, well, they did manage to get the tower. You're exactly right. Bard seeing what he can do moving around this map, but doesn't quite know where to go right now. Zero shut out from his jungle. Can't get the vision down safely at all as 957 now towards the bottom side. But this conversation about Echo versus Maokai is just starting to become irrelevant with how far ahead RNG are.
Well, 957 is still pretty strong, right? So 957 and Mystic, probably the two people that you can continue to rely on if you are the WE lineup, but everyone else is just like a full component behind their counterpart. when you have a look at when you have a look at Xiaohu's build, he's just so far ahead, has that Luden's Echo, as well as the makings of an Abyssal. So he's pretty much a full Abyssal ahead, because he's got boots too. When you have a look at the junglers, he's pretty much a full, like, the components of a Moore ahead. They're just so much stronger at this stage of the game.
Yeah, that is like 2k gold at least, MLXG. There's items in his back pocket that are now built up. Very frightening out of the jungler, but Condi, you know, has been able to claw back that difference just a little. At least found a jungle camp here and there. We'll see what RNG can do to close out this game. As you can see, blue buff are now going to be taken from Xiaohu. That's what they do next.
Abyssal as well. Honestly, no one is safe on the lineup of WE. He'll clean up anyone with a full combo. Has a Luden's Echo for immediate power. They recognize that their window is right now and that they can take full advantage of this game. So,
well, RNG moving towards the Baron buff.
See, this is a little bit of a trap because you still don't want to tunnel on Baron because you have Azir, you know, 957 CC as well as all of Condi's and Mystic's AoE damage. So there is a risk in the Baron pit, but continue to control the dragon, rotate between turrets, I think is a good idea right now for the RNG lineup.
MLXG up against his worst enemy, being the pink ward. Finally does fall down. Quick draw to get himself back towards the river. Couple of backs coming in. 957 makes his way back in, decides that he doesn't want to stay in the bottom side without teleport available. RNG just trying to corral WE into a position that they want. There's the Mimic Distortion, but just for a bit of poke.
Just because he can, throwing his face in there.
Yeah, get amongst it. Oh, Chain not going to find its mark. Lantern does fly over if Xiaohu did want to use it. Doesn't, not at this stage.
And I say this all the time. If you are WE, you're in a high-pressure game, probably the highest pressure that a lot of these players have outside of IEM. And that was a tournament, honestly, that they had no expectations going in. They were the last place LPL team at the time. You pick a very finicky composition that is hard to execute. Whereas you look at RNG's composition, it's just like...
Put your face in it. Like everyone.
Say it all the time. It's just, everybody, get in here. And like, that's honestly what it is, right? So, I just think that RNG understand like how to play these high-pressure games a little bit better. I understand why, like Name, Name, Mata, and Lupa, definitely a high clutch pressure players.
Oh, yeah.
Name domestically, not internationally. I will caveat that. But this game is being played in China.
Yes, so at the moment,
so
domestic, so is
no stranger playing here. And it's 10,000 gold to lead at 26 minutes in. And they've just really put the screws in on this lineup.
They have managed to siege down that bottom lane inner turret there as well. So 5 turrets to 2 favor of RNG. It's feeling like a very different game. And look, 10,000 gold. Not insurmountable.
Another ultimate from MLXG to try and deny the camp.
Didn't, fortunately, for WE.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah. Smoke screen going to fly through as well as Mata on top of a ward. Snagged by a Mystic shot here.
Second one to follow up. Mata needs to be careful because, once again, there is a member on the team that is still strong. It is Mystic.
Yeah, well, MLXG is going to take another one, take another Lantern out, and my god, this is frustrating.
Well, he's just 3 levels higher. His smite is so much more efficient at this stage of the game.
I don't think it stops it from being frustrating. Like, I mean, yes, does make sense, but it's still just so mean. Well, Zero, not going to get picked off as the chains don't land. Xiaohu, though, very non-committal with that. Just do it over and over again. Now a needlessly large rod built up. We'll see whether that is going to be the death cap for his next item. Would have liked the Void Staff. But Condi not able to steer anything away as the Flay comes in. Box is down as well from Mata. Wanted to try and commit to that one. Of course, Lamb's Respite was still there. RNG not going to be able to find it, but they find their 3rd dragon of the game.
Another hook lands, this time onto 957. It's probably not the fish you're looking for.
Yep, put that one back.
Lupa has teleport. They're pinging out a ward that is, if you can see, top side of mid lane. In they go. Here comes a teleport.
Mimic Distortion for so much damage to start this one off as Looper is going to make his way in. No home guard, but he has the pick of the litter as far as that Twisted Advance is concerned. Mystic gets over the edge, but does get the Tempered Fate in order to keep him alive. Will it last long enough, though, is the real question, as Mystic does eventually fall. MLXG over to the side as Yahoo's going to follow him in there. And look at the amount of damage out of RNG. This is ridiculous. Mata may fall down, but the Azir is dead. Mata does fall, but 957 is going to be traded, and it's a triple kill for Name.
Yeah, triple kill, 13,000 gold the lead. They'll go clean up Baron. And this game at 30 minutes in looks like it has RNG's names written all over it. We question when the WE run would finally falter. Looks like RNG very prepared for this series. And there's one thing about a Gauntlet you have to be worried about.
Yeah.
When you haven't seen a team for a week and you've seen WE a couple of times, but looks like RNG right now showing that they are all class.
Yeah, they were at work for this whole week because they're looking stronger than they ever have. Really brilliant. Pick up the Baron buff. We'll see whether they can close this one out quickly, but here's the fight. And the flank from Looper is just what it's all about.
Yeah, it was a really nice teleport, but it was a great Mimic Distortion to start it all off. Unfortunately, Mystic doesn't have anything to drop Looper there. And we mentioned that when you're super tanky, following someone over a wall is a fantastic thing. Pretty late ultimates out of everyone, to be honest, and Comedy using his Lamb's Respite selfishly because he's just been picked on all game. Can't keep Mystic alive. 957, sure, he gets the support in response and still is quite strong in this game, but it's just not enough on the back of everything, and Name's going off.
Name's just gigantic. 608 now on this Sivir.
Stole the red buff.
Oh my god. It all just belongs to MLXG. The whole map, feels like.
And it sets up such a good date with whoever comes into the finals. Clear Love, of course. Famous Chinese jungler, bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Or on the other side, it would be Swift if QG managed to pick up the victory. Huge Korean jungler, of course, formerly of CJ. It was just MLXG, new kid on the block. Been around for a season now, but starting to make a serious name for himself.
Oh, no vision of that particular ward, unfortunately. So RNG are discovered setting up here. Now able to clear out the vision in their own base, but WE just doesn't feel good right now. This turret actually getting taken down. What the hell? Xie gets eliminated. First up, the turret is going to fall down. Mystic eats a collateral damage, has to go back to the fountain, and that base did not last very long at all. They'll now rotate towards the bottom side. MLXG, the true grit going off as he tanks up the turret for as long as he likes. They finish it there as well as 957 starts the engagement. Looper as well, a pretty good target as Mystic almost gets eliminated with 2 spells from Xiaohu. Once again, back to the fountain. 2 inhibitors dead in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, exactly right. They'd already taken out the mid lane turret. Sun turret gives them a little bit of a false sense of security. Condi not able to get his ulti down and save his mid laner. They have to give up everything after that. They get a brief window where they can pick up some farm. Maybe if they're close to an item, they'll finish it up. But you have to feel RNG is going to stream into that top lane. Start shoving out the creep wave. I mean, they've already got Bloodthirster picked up, Deathcap picked up. They're an item ahead of everyone. Close to 20,000 gold, 17k.
And look at Looper as well. He picked up your Iceborne Gauntlet.
Yeah.
He did it. He listened to you.
Don't think he did. I think he could build whatever he wants right now.
Oh. No, it was just being silly. Well, Xiaohu looking to try and kill someone. Mystic is definitely a good option. Not going to be able to find him just there. Has himself an elixir running as well.
Another turret falls down. 18,000 gold.
This is a shutout. Just such a clinic put on here by RNG. Based on the mid lane, but everyone's been playing well this game. Name 609.
Well, this is what happens when you isolate an assassin for a prolonged period of time. So, yes, Xiaohu played very well. I want to go back to that. I'm not criticizing Xiaohu. He is proving to be a very good player. But when no one, jungler or otherwise, can influence a mid lane, LeBlanc will beat most people in a 1v1.
Well, Tempered Fate not going to be able to find anything here as the hook does land on a 957. Has to use the ultimate in order to get out as MLXG. Now running over the top. You can see Xiaohu creating some distance for himself, but MLXG is off on his own just trying to kill everyone. Serix is going to go off as well as the more of Malmortius, and he will be okay as now Condi has to run away. Doesn't have Lamb's Respite anymore, but somehow they all live. Xiaohu does manage to make it in there and at least kill the Bard, and 957 will fall down, but on the base.
All
We'll see
right.
whether WE can hold this one off. No. What the hell, Xiaohu? That is so much damage. Yeah, going to get hooked. Flayed off the edge there as Empress Divide comes down. He is going to fall. That is a triple in the end, I believe, for Xiaohu. Yep, the LeBlanc was massive, but RNG just as a unit looking so strong moving into match point in this best of 5 series.
They just dictated the pace of the game from get to go.
Yeah.
Was really impressive, actually, how they managed to do that. Once again, want to go back to like just isolating that mid lane, putting such a magnifying glass on Xie. They're already banning out multiple champions for him. This time they prioritize Azir. RNG obviously have a plan for that doesn't involve Varus. They go back to the LeBlanc and they just make sure it's a 1v1 the entirety of the game. And Xiaohu goes to work. And that's very impressive because, sure, even though he's put in that situation, he still has to win the lane Atlas, and he was able to do that easily.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily like, oh, this matchup is just going to play out this way. It's all about the map play, blah, blah, blah. Chains were landing left, right, and center. He just basically had Xie's number in that lane the entirety of the phase.
Yeah, but once again, like, want to just repeat that this is what you expect if Azir gets 0 help. And the reason he gets 0 help is because Mata, MLXG just doing their job incredibly well. So credit to Xiaohu for being able to deliver on the end product, but well set up by the rest of the team.
Yeah.
This was a very silly play.
Yeah, it was odd. Definitely odd, but not a whole lot Xie could do in that situation. Xiaohu naturally took down his turret
I don't
there.
know. I think there is. If you keep running that way and then flash towards your turret, because he's used Mimic Distortion, I reckon you're pretty safe. Flashing back towards his end distortion actually gives him the gap closer that he was looking for.
Well, yeah, you're right. I was more talking about if you wanted to commit to fighting him. That being said, not sure whether that was a good idea. As you can see, RNG able to run over this fight. Doesn't matter how many fronts it's on when you got a Sivir that big, and Xiaohu just running around eliminating whoever he wants to. It's just not looking great here for WE. But RNG had a plan, knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they executed it. And now we'll see whether WE can have the answer to what they're trying to do.
It doesn't look like WE have many answers right now.
No.
They're in a very slow, methodical, well thought out standard lane games. They've lost in what was an accelerated tempo second game, even though it still went quite long. Had a 20,000 gold lead at the end of that. RNG just dominated it from start to finish. So I think that right now, they just look like they're not able to team fight and not able to outthink RNG, which doesn't leave you many options left on the Rift.
Yeah, and it just looks like a little bit demoralization there as well here for WE. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to throw it to a short break. When we get back, we'll see whether WE can hold on, build up some momentum moving into the end of this best of 5 series.